What's up guys, it's Mike with Shallow Reefing, come back at you with another video, and today we are going to aquascape this tank. Let's get started. So this will be my canvas for how I'm going to build my aquascape. As you can see, I took both sides of the crating and it turns out to be just shy of, actually if I look at the metal strips on the end, that would be where the 70-inch mark is. So that's exactly where I want it to be. So the length is perfect. The width is only, I believe it's 27 inches. So I'm gonna have a couple inches of play front and back, but you never wanna build it all the way to the edges anyway, the aquascapes. So pretty much this is gonna be almost ideal for me to aquascape. If any of you guys have been watching the channel from way back, like a year ago, you know I had a great deal on, like, I think it was about 120, 140 pounds of like used live rock. So what I did was I bleached it and then I used a fresh water dip in it, or filled it up with fresh water, drained it, and then I put a bunch of salt water in. And now it should be completely dry because I've drained everything out. But this has been sitting in this container and it should be dry for about a year, you know, after I've done all this stuff to it. So I know it's gonna be dead, but it's gonna be completely clean, and I'm gonna use this rock for my aquascape. I cannot wait to get this out of here and to get this box off of my garage floor and put it back up into storage, because this has been sitting here for way too long, taking way too much space. So let's jump into this. So this is doubled up. I think this should hold the weight with the two sawhorses and double plywood across the middle. I might have to move them a little closer together, but my plan is to take the giant rocks like this and see if I can make a nice base. I'm gonna plan on having the right side over here more open and have a structure over here, maybe an arch around and an arc over top, something like that, and have the middle fairly spacious, because I do want to have some islands of zoas and maybe some acans, but we'll see what the rock says and speaks to me. So I put a 16-inch PVC in the middle because I don't want any of the scape to be over that 16 inches, because I only have about 20 inches of water room in the tank. It goes up to about 21 inches, but you know, that last inch is not really always filled with water. So I want to keep it at that 16-inch height maximum. And on the left-hand side, it goes up to about 14 inches. I do like the slope where it's kind of angling this way. And I do like the open area over here because there's a lot more I can do with it. But I still have way more rock to put up here and play with. This is just a rough idea. I don't know, I'm not really liking this scape. Granted, you know, once you have coral in there, it's gonna look completely different, but I do wanna have kind of like this open area in the middle where I can have Euphilia, but I'm definitely not married to this right now. All right, so let's see. I don't necessarily like the negative space aquascape thing that is like the new trend right now. I do like more rock, and I do like arches, and I do like shelves. I do like I like kind of everything, man. So I'm working with what I got, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. Now I do like this side over here. This angle, for some reason, I really dig it. You have kind of like a rise here, but I have enough space to put, you know, frags everywhere. I'm not sure I like that rock here. I'm kind of liking this space, but it might be a little too vertical for me. The top is looking better. I can put acros everywhere there. I'm liking this with the arch down and over, but then I get this. I don't know. Trying to think what would be the best, you know, look for this. I don't know if I want to take the branch out. I do kind of like this little branch here, but if I have like those Tonga branches, it's kind of like, well, should I use them or should I not use them? Because the Tonga branch, I could actually glue some frags on and it would be nice to have some acros sticking out over it. And then this side, have like zoas and zoas, whoop, right down there. I definitely know I want this open. definitely open on that side. And then this needs to be farther back, going back towards the back wall. That way I kind of have that dimension going. I don't know, I'll think about it. All right, so I think I've decided on this aquascape here, where it's open in the middle somewhat to have like a little eddy for my LPS. It comes up to the left. You have like a higher structure here, and it's kind of flat in the back. So if I go to the side view over on this side, I'll be able to swing over, swing, swing, swing. There we go. I'll be able to have a nice long down the tank view, and it'll be perfect right here. I love how it's like out of focus. There we go. And then I can have some more SPS in the back, but then if I come all the way to the back, I'll have spots where I think I'm gonna throw some monopore in the back just to take up the space in the backside. And then when we swing over to this side, I think I'm gonna like this part the best. Oops, wrong way. So this, I like how it's flat here, and then there's a bunch of crevices for the fish to be in and out of. Yep, this way. There we go. And then you can kind of see there's like a cave inside there. And then if you look down this angle, you'll see there's kind of like a cave there for fish. And there's arches for the fish to go under. I know everyone's liking this minimalist aquascape, but I kind of want it to be, you know, like a basic one that most people would enjoy. And I have a lot of room, a lot of, you know, places for the fish to hide. That is my goal for this. I just don't know what to do in the back corner here. I put that there because, you know, I want it to be like Zoas would be on this rock in the front, and then I don't know what I want in the back, but it kind of just looks like the middle finger or, you know, something else sticking up at you. No matter how I change that, it just kind of looks phallic-y. I don't know, just changed it again. Not sure how I feel about it. But I am digging this angle. Now the key for me is to kind of mortar these together with the Aquaforest cement. We'll see how it goes. Most of these are just kind of stacked and placed in a good way where they don't need mortar, but I kind of want them to be mortared together. Especially those arches, you can kind of see this arch over here. Yeah, this needs to be mortared. But there's no way I can get all this into the tank because I only have like 24-inch width with the Eurobrace to get in. So what I'm probably gonna do is put them in gently, and then when I'm in there, mortar all this together. Put this in here, mortar all that together, and then drop this in and mortar it. So my plan is to use the rule of thirds. So my main rock structures, I want them to be having points of interest in these areas here. Probably need to bring the top one down a bit, it kind of arced. But for those areas to have points of interest and for it to be appealing to your eye. So let's see if I did a good job with that. So my plan is to use this AF Aquaforest Poly Glue, and it's just a bunch of beads, and you're supposed to put it into a container and heat it up, and it should be kind of like pliable, and you can glue the rocks together that way. So I'm gonna try it right now and see how that works. So I like the container, I like the granules, and the lid is just super smart. You just pop this puppy off and then put it in there. So let's try it and see how this turns out. Let's shake a couple in there. Let's do a couple of these guys. And then let's heat it up. All right, let's see how this works. So my initial impressions are, do not use a plastic solo cup because it gets stuck on the sides. This is kind of like a super glue type mix. I found it best to work with these cups that are got a wax liner in it, the biodegradable ones. But the paper cups seem to work pretty well. And all you have to do is just kind of like knock a couple of these guys in here, wait 30 seconds, and then it turns into a like super glue type putty that you can use, and you can reheat it if you mess it up. I notice a bunch of it is getting stuck on the spoon, but overall, I'm able to pull enough off and I can use it with my hands, meet it, and put it into the crevices. So after about 30 seconds, you can see we got it here. It needs to be a little hotter. These things kind of need to be, you know, almost at that 200-degree mark. I mean, you have to have it scalding hot because, you know, you could work this way, but you can kind of see the beads aren't fully dissolved. Let's see, there we go. You can kind of see the beads are still in there. And, you know, you want them to be a little bit more dissolved than that. So let me put more in and then we will get started. You can kind of see how it just stuck to that. All right, and there you go. It's ready to be used. Ooh, that's hot still. You can use it, you can grab it with your hands, but you probably want to use gloves, but you know, we are in the middle of a pandemic, or still, and gloves are at a premium, so I'm just being a man and using my hands with it. That's what she said. So you can see I'm kind of using the rule of thirds when I'm trying to aquascape this. I'm translating it from what I saw in the garage out to here. But the one thing that kind of bothers me is that Aquaforest glue, it kind of, I mean, you can see it sticks out like a sore thumb. Even if you kind of hide it in the back, I would recommend putting it in the back and attaching it in the back of the tank. It sticks out because it's not purple, it's white. I guarantee once we get some more, you know, once the tank's cycled and Coraline comes over and covers it up, you're not gonna be able to see it. But right now, you know, it kind of sticks out pretty bad. So I've been trying to put most of it on the back side or sides that you're not gonna see. It's holding, it's doing a good job. I don't know if I like the mortar better, like the kind of like a paste you mix up. This is, if it breaks off, you can always heat it up and reuse it since it's kind of like a glue. So my thoughts on the Aquaforest AF Poly Glue. You know, I kind of like how it is a like glue type substance, like a super glue. What I don't like is, man, those things, all the glue, you can kind of see, sticks out like a sore thumb, like right back there. Yeah, I mean, it sticks out like a sore thumb. I like how if you screw up, you can kind of just pop it off and put it back on. And I would say the hold is a medium hold. It is definitely not a strong hold like a mortar. Ways that you could improve this is to make the glue purple when you heat it up. I saw, like, I think Reef Welder has something like that. But the Aquaforest, it'll get the job done. I think where it would really do well is mounting corals and not, you know, aquascaping the rocks. Because if you do a bunch of joints like I've done over here, it's going to, you know, kind of stick out. You have to use a lot of it and spread it out. I noticed I had to really not just knead it and just push it in, but to expand it and make like almost a disc and then push it around the entire area. So this is the aquascape I came up with after finally putting in the tank. Everything looks pretty good, I think. We'll see. Let's swing over this way. Looking down this side, I have a bunch of platforms. Everything's looking pretty good. I got some, you know, just rocks laying around. I'm liking how it's looking. Oops, let's get that glare off. There we go. Not too bad. I really am digging the structure over here, especially because if I get closer, you can kind of see how there's like a little, oh, that glare is killing me. All right, let's see if I can get over here. Yes, that's better. Kind of see how it's hanging out. Tons of caves, tons of places for fish to hide. I'm loving it. So now I got to put the sand in. Let's get started. The tank is filled with sand. Now, you're probably thinking, oh man, this is all uneven and stuff. I'm gonna put water in it. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to save that for the cycling video. So guys, this is my aquascape. Granted, don't mind that. That's supposed to be on the sand bed. I'm gonna wait for the sand to level out and then I'm going to finish up any minute changes that I might need to make. But I'm gonna start getting this tank filled up with water and I will see you guys on the next video. So if you like what you see here and you wanna see more, click the subscribe button to see more. In the next video, we're gonna be cycling the tank. I'll see you then.